How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all well. Mr. Boulder here, back today with an album ranking video. And today I'm tackling the discography of British thrashers Xentrix. Excellent band, love these guys. They're from Preston in Lancashire here in England. Fantastic thrash band. Not a massive discography, only 6 albums to discuss here. As always, no live albums or EPs in my album ranking videos. So just going to be talking about the 6 studio albums. Going to get cracking straight away. Coming in at last place for me is this album. And this is Kin from 1992. This to me is the sound of an album that's made by a band who was sat down by their record company in early 1992 and told, you know that Metallica album, the Black album that came out last year, that's really commercial sounding and selling by the absolute bucket load? That's what you're doing this year. This is incredibly commercial sounding compared to the 2 that came before it. And to me, the sound of a band whose heart just really isn't in it. This isn't a bad album by any stretch of imagination, but it's easily their weakest. The musical performances are all fine. Chris Assey's vocals are particularly excellent. But it's nowhere near as good as the 2 that come before it. And like I say, very commercial sounding, trying to sort of jump on that Black album bandwagon with something much more commercial sounding, and with not the best results, it's got to be said. The first track, The Order of Chaos, is pretty good. Some good riffs in that, excellent vocals from Chris Assey. All Bleed Red is a good track, one of the better ones on here. However, track 4, No More Time. I've often heard people sort of slag off Metallica over the years for Nothing Else Matters. If you think that Nothing Else Matters is a bad song, then believe me, listen to No More Time from this album, and that'll make you realise just what a good song Nothing Else Matters is. Because this is Xentrix trying to do a ballad and with horrific results. It's a bad song. As much as I love Chris Assey's vocals, and I do think he's a great vocalist, he hasn't got the voice to pull off a ballady type song. And it's just not good. There's some synthesizers in it which just sound incredibly dated even for 1992. It's just a bad song. Bad song. Come Tomorrow is okay. Release is a pretty good song. See Through You is good. But on the whole, it's just incredibly disappointing, considering the 2 that come before this are absolute bangers. This one is not at all. It's last place. It's not bad by any stretch of imagination, but it's definitely their weakest for me, and the one that I spin the least. Kin from 1992. Not the best, has to be said. Some decent moments, but some horrific ones as well. So coming in at number 5 is Scourge from 1996. This again is the sound of a band that is changing their sound and moving with the times. So by 1996, groove metal was a big noise, and this is Xentrix going in much more of a groove metal direction on this album. There's still bits of thrash in there, but it's mostly groove. And I have to say, it's one of the better ones when thrash bands try to make groove sound albums in the 90s. The one issue I have with this album is that this sounds pretty much nothing like the Xentrix that we all know and love. Anyone who's a Xentrix fan that hasn't heard this, give a couple of songs from this album a listen and get in the comments section of this video and let me know if you would guess it was them. Because if I was handed this album on a blank CD, I would never know that it was Xentrix. The main issue, of course, being there's no Chris Assey on vocals here. There's a guy called Simon Jordan on vocals, and to be honest, he's a good vocalist. I get slight hints of Cowboys from Hell era Phil Anselmo, but I mostly get Phil Rind from Sacred Reich. For me, this guy sounds mostly like Phil Rind. Other than Simon Jordan, it's the rest of the guys who made the earlier albums. And it's not bad, but it's not great at the same time. But it was better than I thought it would be, to be fair. The sort of first track, 13 Years, is a good track. Title track, Scourge, is really good. Caught You Living I like. Strength of Persuasion. The Hand That Feeds Itself was probably my favourite. It's probably, though, because it's closest to the thrashier stuff. Creed, Breed, 10 songs here. It's not bad, actually. The riffs are good. I like the vocals. But yeah, it just doesn't really sound anything like Xentrix. But it is one of the better efforts, to be fair, from the 90s when the thrash bands changed up their style and tried to move with the times. I don't mind it. Certainly not essential, but not a piece of shit at the same time, it has to be said. But yeah, it doesn't sort of sound anything like the Xentrix of old. But still a decent enough listen. But yeah, that's definitely 5th in my ranking here. So that's Scourge from 1996. Not bad. Not terrible. A decent album. But it's certainly not essential, it's got to be said. So that's the 2 weaker ones out now. Now we get into the good stuff. And for me, coming at number 4 is their most recent album, 7 Words, which came out in November last year. Excellent album. This is the 2nd album to feature Jay Walsh, who's now on the vocals, and Chris Shire's on the bass. For me, this is an album that is definitely, the second half's better than the first. And the first is good, but the second half for me is definitely stronger. It's got that updated production, which some people will hate, of course. Very melodic, especially with the guitar playing, sort of in the style of sort of latter-day Creator, actually, I find in these most recent albums. On side A, you've got Behind the Walls of Treachery, which is an okay opener. For me, it's one of the weaker songs on the album, so I don't know why I opened with that. Title track 7 Words is pretty good. Spit Coin is an excellent song. Great vocals from Jay Walsh and that. Really like that. The Altar of Nothing, a great song. Really strong chorus. Everybody Loves You When You're Dead. That's the last song on side A. That's a really good song. But side B for me is where the killer stuff's at. Reckless with a Smile. Ghost Tape number 10. My War. Kill and Protect. Anything But the Truth. All those songs on side B are absolutely killer. Drums sound great in this album. Chris Shire's bass works great. The riffs across the whole album are fantastic, especially during some of the songs on side B. Just killer stuff. An excellent album from these guys. And for me to be shown this at number 4 out of 6 just goes to show how strong the rest of this discography is, because this is a superb album for me. Absolutely love it. Listened to it so many times. 7 Words by Xentrix is number 4 of 6 in my Xentrix album ranking. A superb album. Really good stuff. And I just absolutely love it. It's really good. Coming in at number 3 then. It's 2019's Bury the Pain. The first one to feature Jay Walsh and Chris Shire's. Their first album in 23 years. And for me, personally, this is a modern day thrash classic. I absolutely love this record. An album, again, full of great riffs. Jay Walsh's vocals are superb. He sounds really pissed off and angry on this album. The vocals are great. Absolutely love them. The riffs are fantastic. Great album, loads of great songs, catchy songs. Bury the Pain, first track. It's just absolutely fantastic. Really strong chorus, great riffs. There Will Be Consequences. Again, great chorus, really strong riffs. The Truth Lies Buried is a great tune. Let the World Burn, last song on side A, is great. Again, a really strong chorus, catchy to sing along to. The Red Mist Descends is another great track. World of Mouth. The One You Fear, excellent song, really aggressive sounding. Evil by Design, again, another really catchy chorus. Strong vocals from Jay. Excellent riffs. There's tons of energy on this record, and for me, it's a modern day thrash classic. Xentrix's Bury the Pain from 2019 is a superb album. I listened to this loads when it first came out, and I spun it again, obviously, just recently, a few more times for doing this video, and it's just an excellent album. Excellent thrash from Xentrix. Love this album, brilliant stuff. Bury the Pain is my number 3 in the Xentrix discography. Superb stuff. Excellent album. Just brilliant. So to the top 2 now, and 2 absolute thrash bangers. Thrash to pieces, definitely. Quick swig of the old coffee. For me, number 2 is their second album, For Whose Advantage, from 1990. This is obviously, because it's from 1990, got that old school thrash sound, so I absolutely love this. You know, I like updated production and that, but sometimes I wish bands would go back to kind of an old sounding production, and this is just fantastic. Excellent album, brilliant stuff. First song, Questions, is just excellent. Really strong vocals from Chris Astley. I love the bass intro to the second track, For Whose Advantage, obviously the title track of the album. Human Conditions, great. False Ideals, I like. On side B, we've got New Beginnings, Desperate Remedies, my favourite song on side B. It's some excellent riffage in that. Drums are really good. Kept in the Dark, not too fussed about the last song, Black Embrace. But the rest of it's just killer. So many great riffs, really memorable riffing. The vocals from Chris Astley are just absolutely fantastic. He sounds great. And just an album full of really catchy songs. Heavy songs, pissed off sounding songs, but great stuff. Loads of energy. Absolutely fantastic album. Lucky enough to pick up this original press at a record fair years ago. Just a superb album. Excellent stuff from these guys. It's my number 2. But some really, really strong songs and excellent riffage throughout. Just the guitar work's amazing. And as always, I love Chris Hassey's vocals. He sounds fantastic, and it's a great album. And that comes in at number 2. So obviously number 1 is their debut album from 1989, Shattered Existence. I'd never heard this till about 3 years ago. I remember seeing it being talked about quite a bit in the VC. So I listened to some of it on YouTube, and it just absolutely blew me away. And I went straight onto eBay and found an original copy. This is my repress, but I've got an original as well. But this is just fantastic. Such a good album. The opening 2 tracks is just an excellent 1-2 punch straight away. No compromise and balance of power. 2 songs with excellent choruses, really strong, great vocals, excellent riffs, really catchy riffs, especially on balance of power. It's just excellent stuff. Crimes is the 3rd track, is superb. Dark Enemy closes out side A. Great stuff. Bad Blood, Reasons for Destruction, Position of Security, Heaven Sent. 9 tracks, gets the job done, and they're all bangers. There's no bad songs on this record at all. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I love the drumming. Excellent riffs and solos, and as always, Chris Hassey's voice is amazing. Just an album full of absolute banging thrash metal songs. No bad songs at all. So much energy. Up-tempo, fast and ferocious, just how I like it. Excellent thrash from Xentrix. Shattered Existence from 1989. Their debut album is their best in my opinion. Just phenomenal stuff. An absolute banger, no doubt about it. It's absolutely essential thrash. If you're into your thrash and you have hers, you've got to give it a listen. And to be honest, the same goes for Who's Advantage as well. Just phenomenal stuff. But their debut from 1989 is my favourite. It's just absolutely phenomenal stuff. Check it out if for some reason you haven't heard it. Right guys, that's it for this video. Cheers for watching to the end. As always, get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this ranking. What's your favourite Xentrix album? And as always, thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Cheers, take care. I'll see you soon. See ya.